and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane.
What up, football fans? Welcome to another episode of Laces Out Live. How's everybody doing out there? I am your host, Big C. This is brought to you by Game Changers Media. And you know, the co-hostess with the mostest, spooky, freaky, leaky Mikey Jones. Happy Halloween, cuzzo.
Happy Halloween, brother. Oh, man, leaky. I don't know if I like that one. That sounds a little.
You get up there in age, you know, you just bringing them leaks. You got them man diapers.
Maybe creaky. I'm not Joe Biden yet.
Creaky,
No.
okay. Creaky,
I don't wear diapers. Can't, bro. I'm a little creaky, not leaky. There ain't nothing leaking on me. I'm solid.
You spring a leak here and there.
Maybe once in a while when you don't shake enough. That's a different conversation, though. Big news, bro. I mean, big news for the Dolphins. Like, you might as well just talk about that right now. How do you feel? Are you happy? You think it's going to work in a good manner? Like, crazy, right? I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. You know, I kind of got some bad info. I won't want to call it bad info. You know, I got some people down there that work firsthand with people in the personnel department of the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, today I made my video and I had posted about Mike McDaniel being fired because Stephen Ross was highly upset last night. Seen leaving the game early, very, very upset, which he has every right to be. You know, this guy has spent a shit ton of money. He's went out there and paid the high price free agents to come to Miami, pretty much opened his wallet and allowed free reign to go out and build him a winning football team. And Chris Grier has failed to do that. And, you know, last night was a perfect example of Chris Grier's inability to put acceptable product on the field. And I thought that with how long that Chris Grier's been here and how many mistakes he's made and he's been able to keep his job, that Mike McDaniel was going to be the fall guy. And, you know, I was hearing that changes were coming quickly. So I was assuming that Mike McDaniel was going to be fired today. And out of nowhere, Stephen Ross pulls the trigger on getting rid of Chris Grier, which is huge news for this Miami Dolphins fan base. This guy's been with this organization for 25 years with his hands in the pot. 9 years, the last 9 years is the main man general manager, and he has just neglected this overall roster. You know, he's gone out and he's made some nice signings. He's made some nice draft picks, but there's just too many mistakes in his neglecting key parts of this roster, like the offensive line. This year going into the season with the secondary that we did. You know, it was just too much for us to overcome. And I think Stephen Ross, watching the game last night, you know, we didn't lose because of coaching. We lost the game last night because we have too many. The roster's not built the correct way. The roster doesn't have enough good football players on it. We had fumbles from receivers that are 4th and 5th. They should be 4th and 5th on the depth chart, not starting or playing meaningful minutes. You know what I mean? The offensive line, absolutely horrible. The defensive secondary, absolutely horrible. And I think that Stephen Ross seen enough Chris Grier inability to build him a winning franchise, and he decided to move on. And I'm super excited. I think you had to move on from him if you plan on doing any type of trades at the draft or the trade deadline.
Right.
If you want to move on from any type of these players, move contracts, expiring contracts, expensive contracts, you couldn't allow Chris Grier to make those moves for you moving forward, because you made you put out a statement last year at the end of the season that the status quo was not going to be good enough. You know, the status quo will not be allowed. And if you're telling Chris Grier to go out and trade these players, you're obviously saying that the season's a wash and you're giving up on the season.
Right.
Well, if you're giving up on the season, what's that mean for Chris Grier's job? And that had to have been a conversation. You know what I mean? So they make the right move. They name Champ Kelly interim general manager. Champ Kelly, a little info on this guy. We signed him in 2000, just this last year. But let me give you a little info. Prior to the Dolphins, Kelly served as assistant general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders for 3 years, 2022 to 24, including interim general manager during the 2023 season. Kelly joined the Raiders after 7 seasons with the Chicago Bears. He served as assistant director of player personnel from 2017 to 21, after spending the prior 2 seasons as director of pro scouting. During his time with the Bears, Chicago totaled 21 Pro Bowl selections. Kelly helped build a 2018 Bears team that won the NFC North division title for the first time since 2010 and earned 8 Pro Bowl selections, which tied for the 3rd most in franchise history. Kelly began his NFL career in Denver, where he served 8 seasons, 2007 to 2014, in the Broncos personnel department. He joined the team as a college scout in 2007. A lot of experience. He's built winning teams. Is that who I want as the full-time general manager? No, it's. But I think Chris Grier or Mike McDaniels, Stephen Ross is going to give Champ Kelly a real look, and you know he's going to have an opportunity to win this job full time. You know, there's lots of people out there that Miami Dolphins, I'd like to see them bring in for an interview, possible replacements for Chris Grier. You know, first and foremost, I want a general manager that can identify talent. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Not a guy that's a numbers guy or an analytics guy that's going to sit there and be like, well, this guy's 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got to be a good football player, or he can throw the ball 80 yards. He's got to be a good football. You know what I mean? No, I want them to be able to watch the game tape and be like, yeah, that guy got it. You know what I mean? I want them to go there and scout the player and just watch him, you know, eye to eye, you know, watch him on the field and be like, yeah, that guy got the tools to be a successful NFL quarterback or tight end or defensive tackle or whatever position it may be. I don't want a guy that just, oh, well, this guy's supposed to be good. This guy's supposed to be able to do these things well. You know what I mean? He's got intangibles, but you know, he can't put it together on the field. No, I want someone that's a baller that can identify ballers. And, you know, that's personally what I want. A guy that has a history of scouting, a guy that's been a part of building franchises. I don't want a guy that's never done it before. And just because you come from a successful franchise, if you didn't have nothing to do with the success of them building that team, that's not good enough for me. I want someone that's had their fingers in the pot and has contributed to the building of these successful franchises. You know what I mean? You can go get someone from the Pittsburgh Steelers, but if you had no real say in them building the team, what good are you to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a couple names on the list. Of course, you're going to hear Louis Riddick's name. Listen, Louis Riddick, I think, is a real. I think he can do a good job. He knows how to evaluate talent. People are going to criticize Louis Riddick because he's been very high on Tua, but Tua's got talent. You know what I mean? Tua's got talent as a quarterback. Tua just doesn't have all the tools to be a great starting quarterback. But Louis Riddick, Alec Ellerby from the Eagles, assistant general manager, Chris Shea from the Kansas City Chiefs, Ray Agnew from the Lions, Mike Greenberg from the Bucks, John Erickson from the Packers, and Nick Mateo from the Ravens are a few names that I would like to see them bring in and give these guys an interview. And because those teams all are successful franchises, and that's what we need to do. We need to change the dynamic with this football team, change the culture, and bring in guys that know how to build football teams with real life football players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to just put somebody in there that's pretty much, you don't want to repeat what's been going on. You want somebody like kind of the talent. I get the talent. That's like the biggest thing. You have to be able to pick talent. Otherwise, you're going to be shit at picking in the draft. That's got to be a big thing. Somebody has to have some experience of picking out some decent talent. And I'm not talking like obviously the best talent. I'm talking like somebody who can go in like the third or fourth round and get you a solid person at any position to give your team some depth. I get what you're saying. That's what I mean. That's the biggest thing. That's what the Giants don't have. No depth. And that shit kills a team, especially when people just get injured.
Well, there's too many general managers out there, and I want to give the example of Zach Wilson. You know, Zach Wilson, what did he ever do in college? Nothing. But he could make every throw. He had a super strong arm. He looked the part. He had perfect size, perfect this, perfect that. And because he had all those things, he's a top 2 draft pick. You know what I mean? But then you got a guy like Lamar Jackson who dominated college football, who doesn't go to the last pick in the first round. No, I want the guy that can pick that guy out and be like, no, I don't care that you don't see it. I don't care that he doesn't necessarily do it the way that it's supposed to be done, but he gets the job done and he produces on the football field. And that's, you got to find those type of guys.
Right. Exactly. I agree. So you're excited then. I mean, that's what I'm getting from this.
Well, yeah, I'm super stoked because I didn't think that it was really going to be a possibility. You know, I thought Mike McDaniel was going to be the one that ended up taking the fall. Mike McDaniel, from what I'm hearing and what's been released, is Mike McDaniel's safe for the rest of the season. Is there a chance that Mike McDaniel's safe past this season? There is a shot because Tua is still owed a bunch of money. And me and you talked about this before we went on air earlier this morning, when the Chris Greer news broke.
Yep.
That what sense does it make to bring in a new head coach if you got what head coach is going to want to come here? What coaching candidate's going to want to come to Miami and be saddled with Tua Tagovailoa? Right. There's not too many. And if you got to have Tua on your roster and he's going to be the starter, because no rookie quarterback's going to probably come in and beat Tua out as the starting quarterback.
Right.
Tua's decent. You know what I mean? He's not great, but Tua's pretty good. He has NFL experience. Most rookies come in and struggle. Who's going to beat Tua out? So Tua's going to be your starter. Who better to work with Tua for one more year than Mike McDaniel?
Yep.
And Mike McDaniel's shown that he can have success in the NFL. This guy has gone to multiple playoffs. He's built the number one offense in pro football. If you have a competent GM that's actually building him a well-rounded team, you know, Tua and Mike McDaniel have proven that they can do things and have some success.
Right.
Does that equal a Super Bowl title? No, but you know, one more year of the new general manager being able to evaluate Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, you know, and then 2027, that's when the real rebuild can, you know, you can start the rebuild next year, but the real rebuild where you can get off and under Tua's contract, you can bring in a new head coach that gets to pick their quarterback, you know.
Yep.
I think that's probably the way that they're leaning, but we'll see. There's a lot of football yet to be played.
Yeah, for sure. Like that does sound pretty excited. I mean, I like you said, it just doesn't make sense. You're already straddled with Tua next season too, unless you're really willing to take the hit. So you might as well just keep McDaniels. I don't see a reason to change it. That's what I wish they'd do on my team. I'm not gonna lie. I wish because I see that connection between Daboll and Dart. It's the same thing. Why split something like that up and make them start all over? Because I think it's mostly general manager on my side. So, but you guys,
me too. You know what I mean? I think it's mostly that you didn't build us a proper offensive line.
Yep.
You never gave Mike McDaniel a real offensive line. You know, This year there was no secondary. Mike McDaniel's made his fair share of mistakes. And I'm not saying that's the way that overall I wish it would go. You know, in a perfect world, we'd be able to move on from Tua's contract this year. You know what I mean? But that's not what we're looking at. And that's not, to be honest, it's not realistic. You move on from Tua's contract, next year's a wash anyway.
Yep.
Because who are you going to have come in? And you ain't going to have no salary cap. You know what I mean?
That would
literally have no cap space.
If you did that, it'd literally just be an automatic tank season. So you'd actually have a whole season to just throw away. Like,
I mean, at least next year with Tua and Mike McDaniel, you can be like, hey, you know, we can compete. We can compete still.
Yeah, you can do what you can and then see where you can go in the first half of the season. And then if it ends up being a shit show, then you can start firing people mid-season next year and start fresh. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm happy. I mean,
a lot of people would rather just move on and rip the Band-Aid off and get rid of Tua and have 0 wins next year and have the first pick in the 2027 draft, which if you keep Tua and Mike McDaniel, there's a good chance you're going to win 5-6 games and you're going to lose out on that first pick. You know what I mean? But you know, who knows, man, answers, but I'm super excited about the move.
Yeah, I have to agree. Now I'm jealous because I want my team to make the same play. Are we ready to make some picks, brother?
Yeah, what was our record from last week?
Oh, you want the record from last week? Well, you caught one up on me, I believe. Give me 1 second. Last week I went 7-6. You went 8-5. That puts me at 68-37-1, and you at 67-38-1. So you're down 1 game. Uno gameo.
I'm gonna have to start keeping track. I don't know if you're doing this on the up and up.
What do you mean? I
Seems
write
like
everything down.
Seems like I'm always up I'm always down 1 game.
Look at brother. I write everything down. Big C, Mike. I pick it on the picks. I got all my paperwork right here. I got receipts, mother fudger.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, man.
Yeah.
All right. So teams on by: Cleveland, Jets, Philly, and Tampa Bay. And Bears, Bengals, the first game. Since he's allowed 27 plus points in 7 straight games, which is a franchise record. I don't know if that's a good record, but since he's D lets the Jets get 510 yards on offense, 7 2-point yards of play. Bears secondary is banged up. Chase Higgins, I think Chase Higgins and Jamar Chase can have a pretty good game. Like, I really do. I got the Bengals in this game. 28 20.
Oh man, listen, the Chicago Bears really struggled last week with the Baltimore Ravens, but the Baltimore Ravens are looking more and more like the team that I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season, a team that's going to be able to compete for the AFC crown. They just had so many injuries, but the Bears have struggled in the red zone. They got the second lowest conversion rate in the red zone in the NFL. But the Bengals, everybody was feeling great about the Bengals. Oh, did you see what Joe Burrow did against the Pittsburgh Steelers? He's getting the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they're scoring a bunch of points. Well, then they go out and they lose to the Jets. The Jets. Them goddamn stinking ass Jets. And, there's a good chance Joe Flacco does not play this game. They're going back to Jake Browning. Jake Browning's been horrible. I'm going Bears 24-21.
All right. Oh, 49ers, Giants. I got the Giants. I'm not even going to tell you why, because I'm going to pick the Giants because I love the Giants, and there ain't nothing.
You got to explain.
Listen, Dart has the most passing touchdowns at 8 in his first 5 career games for a New York Giants since DeVito had 7 in 23 and Sims in 97 had 7. We lost Scat. That's a big deal. Like, I think we can make up for it. We've made a few roster moves, nothing big. I think Ray is going to play this week at wide receiver. I just believe in Dart. I believe the end of the story. I believe in Dart. The 49ers are really injured. They don't have Nick Bosa. They don't have Fred Warner. They don't rush the passer well. And I think that's going to be the advantage for Dart. I think he has a solid game. Last week was really demeaning. It really sucked. I mean, you could just see the excitement and all the positivity just go out of everybody when Scat's ankle was sideways. So it's like, I mean, we had Dexter Lawrence got called out by Carl Banks, and Dex said he's delusional, and Carl Banks is like, hey, I just say it how it is. I mean, that's how I see it. I watch all the film. I mean, this is what I see. You're not the normal sexy Dexy. So
sexy Dexy,
pretty much. And I just really think this Giants team is going to be really motivated. The Niners are coming to us, so we're at home. I feel confident about that. I just think this is a get right week, especially since the 49ers have such injuries. If we can shut down McCaffrey, I think we got a really good shot in this. And I think the defense is going to step up this week. I'm hoping. Our secondary is still going to be a little thin, and it's going to be a challenge, but I'm really depending on that front line of that defense to get to that quarterback, whether it's Purdy or Mac. So I got the Giants. I didn't pick a score. I really didn't. I'm going to go Giants 28-24.
28-24. The loss of Scatterboo was huge for this New York Giants football team, not just because he's a talented player. He just brings a different type of energy to that football team. San Francisco has struggled on offense, only averaging right around 20 points a game. That's the fewest that they've averaged through 9 games and in forever. The Giants are lacking playmakers with Neighbors out and now Cam. Man, San Francisco's got a top 10 scoring defense. It sounds like a recipe for disaster. I think Wan'Dale Robinson steps up for the Giants and has a good game. I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta go San Fran. I'm gonna go San Fran 2017.
Fair enough.
I gotta make up that game on you, bro.
Hey, fair enough. I feel you, because I sure, I won't be picking Dolphins the rest of the year, so I ain't hating.
If Scatterboo was playing,
I wish. Denver Texans. Texans are given 1 8.5 points. I mean, these are two of the best defenses in football, and Denver's won 5 straight since a 1-2 start. The Texans' offense has not been good until last week, and now they face a Denver D that is missing Patrick Surtain, but Denver has the highest sack differential through 8 games with 28, and that's just horrible. I don't like Bo Nix, but I don't care for CJ Stroud more. I'm still taking Denver 23-13.
Yeah, I gotta go Denver too. Pat Surtain's a huge loss for the Broncos because they play a lot of man coverage. They play the most man coverage in the NFL. Almost 60% of their plays are man coverage. So losing the top corner in all the football, that's rough. But where I think this game is won and lost is the Broncos lead the league in sacks with 36, and the offensive line for the Texans is 28th overall.
Yep.
I think that's what it's going to be a long day for Mr. CJ Stroud. Plus, if people haven't noticed, I don't pick the Texans a whole lot. I don't know what it is about them. I just don't like CJ Stroud, to be honest.
They got a good defense, but it's like you just can't count on Stroud. You just can't. I fight myself to pick them even when I believe they're going to win. It's terrible. Saints at the Rams. Saints, Tyler Shuck era. No worst 8-game start since 1999 when they went 1-7. Ooh. Saints on the road. Just Stafford's nasty. I don't even know why I'm discussing this. You talk about Matthew Stafford. He's put up a lot of points, and he does it. He's second in passing yards per game. He's first in touchdowns with 17. He's got a passer rating that's 6th in the league at 109.3. He's in the MVP discussion. You can't say he's not. So I got the Rams in this one. I think this is a simple pick for me. The question is, I got the Rams 27-13.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak on this game much. Obviously, I think the Rams win this football game easily. But why the move at quarterback? There's a lot of problems with the Saints team, and I don't think it's necessarily Spencer Rattler. Has he had a great season? No, but he hasn't had a horrible season. He's got 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, completing around 68% of his passes. Spencer Rattler hasn't played bad football. It's the rest of the team. So to go and make this quarterback change now makes zero the little sense. Yeah, you want to see what you got in your first round quarterback that you took last year, but to me, I think I don't like that they're putting it out there like Spencer Rattler was the issue with this football team. So I think the Rams win big, and I don't know why you'd want to throw that rookie quarterback out there to a Rams team that is pretty damn good.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I got the Rams 30-3.
30-3. Damn, that's an ass beating.
I think the Rams defense scores twice. Book it, Dano.
Ooh, Rams defense. Rams D scores twice. All right, Chargers 5-3, Titans 1-7. Again, another one of those games. Chargers are giving 10.5 points to the Titans. I mean, there's really not much to talk about here. This should be pretty easy. Chargers average 30 points per game, tied for 4th in the league, 422 yards per game, which is first. Passing yards per game, 288.7, which first, and they have a 52.3% third down conversion. It don't even matter. I got the Chargers, and I got the Chargers 28-7.
28-7.
Yep.
Yeah, like you said, there's not much to talk about here. Both these teams are moving in opposite directions. I do think the Titans have played a little bit better recently, but not enough to keep up with the Chargers. I got the Chargers 23-6.
2 field goals. 2 field goals. Okay. Okay.
Boom, boom,
We're-
boom.
Colts Steelers. Where's my paper?
Somewhat of a big game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I don't know. It's like I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. I can see like glimpses of him being great, but it's like you got a running back for the Indy with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, honestly, he's in the MVP conversation, except, we all know the running back don't get it. They didn't Rodgers and the Steelers didn't show up against Green Bay. I mean, that was a big game for Aaron. I mean, that would give him a win against every single team in the league, which made him the 5th person, but it didn't happen. TJ Watt, I think he's just getting older. He's not the same TJ Watt as he was before in his prime, obviously. And they got probably I think one of the most expensive defenses in football, and they have to play like it in order to get that. I got the Colts. I thought about this one for a while because I like the Steelers to a certain extent, but I just think Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, like, Jones is playing amazing football. He's playing smart football, and I don't see the Steelers winning this game. I got the Colts. I'm going to go 31-24.
Yeah, I think this is going to end up being a high-scoring game. The Colts got a wish-washy defense, but they got the number 1 offense in all of football. Pittsburgh has been in quite a few high-scoring games this year already. They're without Deshaun. What the hell's his name? Deshaun Elliott, their safety. He's their main tight end stopper. You got Tyler Warren on the other side of the ball for the Indianapolis Colts, who leads all rookie tight ends, and he leads all tight ends with 492 yards receiving. So he could be a real nightmare issue. Jonathan Taylor, like you had said, may be the MVP at this point, although running backs don't typically win the award. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sold on this Pittsburgh Steelers football team. The Colts have been highly impressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the Colts 34-31.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, it's like Pittsburgh just leaves too many plays on the field, and right now the Colts aren't. They're just playing smart football. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. Next, where are we at? Oh, wait. It's right there on the same page. Sorry. Falcons, Patriots. New England, first 5-game win streak since 2021 when they had 7. Atlanta, Kirk Cousins was trash last week, and Bijan Robinson only had 9 carries. I think that kills me. You got a guy like Robinson, and he gets 9 carries. It's the same thing that Philly was doing when they were only giving Saquon 3, 5, 6 carries. Like, this is the guy went and set records last year, and he's only getting that many carries. And same thing I feel about Bijan. He should have more carries. They got to do something if you're just throwing half the game. Atlanta D, pass yards per game at 149.1, which is first. I mean, Atlanta's got decent defense. So, but I like this New England team, man. They're starting to look like the old New England team. I won't say the old New England team. I shouldn't say that because they're obviously a different team, but Drake May, man, he's looking good. He's making smart plays. He plays calm, cool. And I got the Patriots. 28-17.
Is Michael Penix back?
Is Michael Penix back? I don't know. Honestly, I probably should have looked that up. I forgot all about that. Dumbass.
I mean, it don't matter. I'm going to take the Patriots, although Atlanta had a terrible game against the Dolphins last week. Obviously, Kirk Cousins started, but Tua was the first quarterback that's thrown for over 200 yards against them this year. They had the number 1 pass defense in the league. They blitz at the highest percentage in the NFL, So the defense is really good. They struggled last week against Miami. If they can put some pressure on Drake May, they can make him make some mistakes. But since this game's at home, I'm going to give that edge to the Patriots and say they win 23-20.
23-20.
23-20. But don't be surprised if Atlanta beats them.
Right. Yeah, it says he's recovered he's off the injury report, so he's clear. Oh, did you change that already?
No.
Oh, I must have not. Panthers, Packers. I mean, I think the Packers are just starting to look good. I think they're starting to vibe. They're starting to hit everything. Packers are 5-1-1. Best 7-game start since 21. Panthers really need Bryce Young back because Andy Dalton is a pile of trash. Panthers O-line lost 3 guys last week, and it's gonna make an even bigger difference, especially for Rico and his run game. I got the Packers in this one, 31-16.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay looked phenomenal last week, especially Jordan Love. A lot of explanation not needed for this game. The Packers are on a different level than the Panthers. I got the Packers 28-13. 28-13.
28-13. 17-48. All right. Vikings, Lions. Detroit won both matchups with against the Vikings last year. Vikings, Carson Wentz out for the season with the shoulder surgery. Obviously, seen that. JJ in line to start. If not, it's Max. What's his name? Broner, something like that. A rookie. Jared Goff is excellent at home. I think they're going to light this secondary up. I think the Lions keep rolling. And they're on an active 4-game streak of beating opponents by 15-plus points for 4 straight games. So I think this is a no-brainer. I got this at 34-10.
Okay. Yeah. Last 4 matchups against the Vikings, the Lions have averaged over 30 points a game. This is Aid Hutchinson's first game against college teammate J.J. McCarthy. Of course, they were teammates on that Michigan championship team. Listen, the Vikings got a pretty good defense, but the offense is still trying to find its way, whereas the Lions got a dominant offense. I'm going Detroit. I think you're right. This is going to be I'm going to say 38-13.
38-13.
38-13.
38-13. All right. Chiefs Bills, man, this is gonna be a game. Like head to head, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I think Patrick's got him by 1 game, but all 4 losses for Allen are in the playoffs, as to where Allen's 4-1 in the regular season against Patrick Mahomes. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm a little concerned about if Buffalo can actually hang with this Kansas City offense that's absolutely been taken off over the last couple weeks. Outscored these teams by, I think it was like 70 points or something like that into the last 2 games. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm probably going to regret this. I did end up picking the Bills, and I picked the Bills 31-28.
You said what?
I picked the Bills, motherfucker.
What was the score?
31-28.
Well, that's the thing. As far as playoffs go, the Chiefs have dominated the Buffalo Bills as far as, it's not like they're dominating them as far as score goes, but the Bills can't get past the Kansas City Chiefs. But during the regular season, the Buffalo Bills have had the Chiefs number. The Chiefs haven't won in Buffalo since before 2020. These two fan bases hate each other. More so, the Bills hate the Chiefs because they can't get by the Chiefs.
Yep.
You hate me because you hate me because you ain't me. You know what I mean?
Yep, pretty much.
As much as people say that Josh Allen is the Dolphins' daddy, well, Pat Mahomes going home for Thanksgiving dinner, baby. Josh Allen is the son of Patrick Mahomes. He came out his penis, I'm pretty sure.
I can't.
Since I picked the Bills in this game just because of their overall dominance over the Chiefs in the regular season, but the Buffalo Bills got Josh Allen, James Cook, and little else. Buffalo has neglected to get Josh Allen a top tier wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Rice coming back to this Chiefs team, they've looked like a completely different offense.
Very true.
So I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. The Chiefs need to find a way to run the football more. You got capable runners, they just don't do it.
Right.
I think Pat Mahomes might lead the team in rushing. It seems like Pat Mahomes, and you wouldn't think Pat Mahomes is this running quarterback, but Pat Mahomes runs for like 40 yards a game, bro. Like
he does.
He just gets those outside runs and runs for first downs constantly.
Yep.
But like I said, this Chiefs team has looked different since Rice's came back. I'm gonna go Chiefs 28-27.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the game of the week for all the football games. Like, this is the one I'm most interested to watch. Jacksonville Jaguars against the Raiders. Both teams coming off a bye. Jags lost back-to-back games after starting 4-1. Brock Bauer and Jacoby Myers come back. Geno's look like shit. I don't like Geno. I think he's trash. Pete Carroll is 0-4 coming off the bye since 2020. I ended up going Jags on this one, 27-13. I think Travis Hunter has a big game. I think he
Travis
gets
Hunter's hurt.
Really? I could have sworn he better not be. Why make me nervous like that? I didn't see him hurt.
I thought I seen something about Travis Hunter. Maybe it was. I could have swore I seen something about a Travis Hunter injury coming across.
Rookie wide receiver and cornerback Travis on injury reserve. You are right. Hurts knee in practice. Son of a beach. Miss at least 4 games. Oh man. Well, there goes that.
Came across my feed earlier. I didn't.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm changing I'm still picking the Jags, but I'm going to put 17-13 instead of 27-13.
Well, they still got a great wide receiver over there in Brian Thomas. I heard that they're trying to trade Brian Thomas, which makes no sense. Yeah. It's one of those things, like I said about the New York Football Giants. You go and you get a great player, like they did it with. They had Odell, and you have a great offensive player, and you draft Saquon, and then you go and get rid of Odell, or you go and draft Neighbors, and then you get rid of Saquon. You can have more than one talented player on an offensive football team, and it seems like because they got Travis Hunter now, they're ready to move off of Brian Thomas, and Brian Thomas is just starting to find his way. Like, this kid has the talent to be a top 5 wide receiver. I truly believe it. Like, he has been phenomenal in some of the games I've watched him in, and I just don't know why you'd be all right with moving off him. You're right about Geno Smith. He's been horrible. Right. There was rumors going around that, I don't even know if it's necessarily a rumor, but there was a trade proposal that either someone came up with or it was rumored that the Raiders would be interested in trading for Tua Tagovailoa and taking on his contract if the Miami Dolphins sent 2 second-round picks along with Tua to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick. Now, I know that doesn't people are like, wait, we're giving up 2 second-round picks and Tua for a 5th? Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you would have to do to get someone to eat up that contract, and the Raiders have the cap space to do it. And do I think Tua's a massive upgrade over Geno Smith? I do, especially if you pair him with Brock Bowers.
Yep.
I mean, and a good, young, talented running back. That could be a recipe for success. Do I think it ends up happening? No, but I think it would be smart on the Raiders' part. But I got the Jags in this one. I'm going to say 21-13.
Fair enough. Sunday night football. Seattle at the Washington Commanders. Seahawks are going for their 10th straight road win. Washington's had a tough season. I think, is Mariota to start again, I believe?
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Well, this says they don't know, but I'm pretty sure that Daniels is back.
Either way, I just...
Does anybody in the chat know if Daniels is back?
I just don't... I mean, Seattle's better, I believe. Najigba is playing wide receiver at a high level. Darnold's passing rate is at 68.2% completion rate. He's almost at 1,754 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 109.2 rating. It's definitely not the Washington Commanders of last season. He's definitely having a tough time with injuries, and it's just he just hasn't been the same. So I'm going Seattle 28-20.
Listen, I hate to say it because I've never been a big Sam Darnold guy, but I think the Minnesota Vikings made a massive mistake by letting Sam Darnold go. Minnesota won 15 games last year, or 14 games, one of the two. They were right there competing with the Detroit Lions all the way to the last week of the season for that division title. You let him move on. I thought that Seattle was not going to be very good this year, adding Sam Darnold, losing DK Metcalf, losing Tyler Lockett. I know they have Jackson Smith and the Jigma, but I just didn't think that this team was going to be very successful. And Sam Darnold continues to surprise me. I think that's the perfect word. The Washington Commanders got a lot of potential when Daniels plays, but he's struggled to stay healthy this year. I had them as one of the favorites to come out the NFC for the Super Bowl, behind Philadelphia and behind Detroit, but one of the favorites nonetheless. But this Washington defense hasn't been very good. They've given up 27 pass plays of at least 20 yards. You can't win football games like that, giving up chunk yards. And what do you know? Sam Darnold has 19 completions of 20 pass yards this year. When you mix those two things together, that's a recipe for disaster. I'm going to have to go with it's in Washington, prime time. I'm going with Washington. I'm going with Daniels and Washington. Primetime football at home. I'm going with the Commanders, even though everything I just said would
everything you just said contradicted what you were going to pick. He said, I normally don't go for Darnold, but he's been. And then he goes on this whole fucking 3-minute spiel, and then he picks the opposite team. I'm going Daniels. They're at home. I can't. What do you got a score for me?
Yeah. No, because I picked the different team to win now. I'm going to say Commanders 27-24. Bobby Wagner has a big game going against his former team. He leads both teams in tackles.
Wagner, good game. All right, let's finish her off with Monday Night Football, which is not really the best game, I don't think. Dallas, Dallas ranks near the top in the league when it comes to points per game. I think they simply just score too much, and Arizona won't be able to withstand it for a long period of time. They got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and this offense the offense is definitely explosive. It's too bad that, I mean, I don't care, but it's too bad that Dallas doesn't have a little bit better defense, because they'd be a real team to worry about. I don't think the Cardinals can hang with that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go 31-17 Dallas. As much as it hurts me to say.
You know, watching Dallas last week, I realized how bad Dallas's defense really is. They're in tough shape, but this offense can put up big points. You're right, with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens having a big year. Javonte Williams having a nice year in his first year coming from the Broncos. I'm going Cowboys 31-24.
Fucker, I put a 2-0. You said 24. I already had the 0 down, Dick. That's all we got.
Yes.
That's our Friday Pickems, ladies and gents. That is our Pickems for the week. We're gonna have to after this week, we're gonna have to do our defensive player, offensive player of the year, that kind of stuff again.
Midway.
Yeah, midway. That's true. I think we should probably do that. That's one thing we're missing.
Yeah, all right. Huh? That sounds like a plan. I'll probably do a special Saturday morning show tomorrow, allowing you guys to come on and talk about the Chris Greer firing and what's next for this Miami Dolphins team. Super exciting times. I know we're going through a rough spot right now, but listen, we got some players on this team to hopefully build for in the future. Hopefully we'll make some moves before the trade deadline. Hopefully get some more draft capital. And hopefully this is a very important hiring for the Miami Dolphins. It's super important hiring for the Miami Dolphins. This has ramifications on maybe the next 10 years of Dolphins football, getting this general manager spot right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's super important. Stephen Ross needs to get this correct. He needs to do his due diligence, and it can be a very exciting time for Miami Dolphins football.
For sure. Fudging sure. I have to agree with you. I'm happy for you. I just wish the Giants would get rid of the GM. I wish they'd take a little book out of there. It's like you wish something was going to happen. Like you said, you've been waiting for what? You said he was there 25 years? That's insanity.
25 years.
That's insanity. And
I mean, he was only the acting.
And
he was only
general
manager for the last 9.
But still, that's a long ass time when things just aren't going right. So,
yeah,
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Well, that explains why we have a drought of not winning a playoff game in 25 years. Because even though we've moved on from prior general managers, Chris Greer has been a part of those guys. You know what I mean? He came in with those guys, and he thinks and views talent the way those guys did because he was taught by those guys. So, realistically, yeah, he's only been general manager for 9 years, but we've had his mentors before him for the last 25 years. So we've had that GM tree for the last 25 years of Dolphins football with no playoff wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to make the changes.
Is it a coincidence when he was brought in, we haven't won a playoff game since? That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. That's got to be so frustrating too. Like, I praise to Jesus. Praise Jesus. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I don't mind watching the Dolphins play, but I am not their fan. Go Giants!
All right, folks, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one.
You know what it is. Fins up.
Go Giants. Go Giants. Go Giants. Fuck the Fins. Fuck the Fins.
Go Giants.
Screw the Giants.
Screw the Giants.
Yo, you caught me last week. You're like, fuck them drugs. I'm like, damn, bro, come on.
Handicap pass, Cam Scatterboo.
and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gridiron gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this is the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to